Hey guys, Adam Lovell from KnuckleTFUp.com. That is KnuckleTFUp.com. I bring you everything bare knuckle fighting and a few gloved promotions because, a couple of them are worthy. But we're not here to talk about glove promotions. We're here to talk about the best promotions in the world, and that is Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, modern day gladiators, as my shirt so says. I make these shirts myself. I don't know if I'll ever get into selling them or anything. I can't make money on somebody else's name, so there's that. But anyhow, if you're interested and think I might be able to do something for you, let me know and I'll look into it. I've never produced t-shirts in mass, but you never know if it's something I could pull off or not. Anyhow, we're here to talk about Fight Night from Edmonton, Canada, the Great White North, if you will, from last night. Today is August 10th, so we're talking about August 9th, 2025. This was a great show. Of course, I'm not going to get into that. My rating will come at the end, as always. But we're going to jump right into it. I dilly-dallied a little bit last week talking about my boy Costa, getting the Zohan booked back at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. So come on, guys. Let's see him in there. But I'm not going to go into that again. We're going to jump right into the show again. It was in Edmonton, Canada, and it kicked off with Adam De Freitas versus Skylar Mahler in a terrific one-rounder. Now, again, I've explained this in the past, guys, especially fighters who've joined me here. Thank you so much. I'm now friends with multiple fighters on here. That is terrific. I am here to help get and put you or keep you over, whatever the situation may be. That's how I see myself. I am here to hype the fighters, hype the fights, hype the shows, because they're as legit as hell. They're as badass as hell. And this fight, this card, this show was top-notch from the opening bell to the final bell, and that was Adam De Freitas and Skylar Mahler. They came out and fought hard. Mahler came out fast and hard. Okay, now there's something to talk about here, okay? Everybody loves, myself included, when a fighter comes out fast and hard. Woo, come out swing, come out charging, come on like a bull of the woods, if you will, daddy. He's coming out. He's going to take him out. It's going to be a fast match. But that forced Adam De Freitas to counter fight. Now, the problem is, if you're fighting a good counter fighter, you could be in trouble. And Mahler was in trouble here because as he came forward, again, early in the first round, he was coming forward with his face, to punch. And at the same time, old Adam, my namesake, if you will, came forward with a punch. So your face is coming forward. The punch is coming toward your face as it's coming forward. That doubles the impact, folks. If you're throwing yourself in your whole weight, front foot leading, and a punch is coming at you at the same time, perfectly aimed and perfectly timed the way Adam De Freitas did, well, what's going to happen? What happened here? Down goes Mahler. Skylar Mahler just dropped like a sack of bricks. It's taking nothing away from this guy. I loved his style. I loved his determination. But Adam De Freitas, perfect countering here. And again, that's boxing training. And that's what Freitas clearly has. And that's what clearly won him this fight early in the first round. Bam! Down goes Skylar Mahler, your winner in the opening fight with a big counter strike. Adam De Freitas. Now, I want to see De Freitas more. He looks like a badass, fights like a badass. I don't know, carries himself like one. Sometimes, I had a lot of experience in professional wrestling. A lot. Watching it, being involved in it, being in the committees in the back, making the decisions and what have you with some smaller indie feds. So I think I can say I know when someone has an it factor, if you will. And this is taking nothing away from Skylar Mahler. This has nothing to do with him losing. Nothing. Seems like a great kid, seems like a solid fighter. But Adam De Freitas carries himself in a way and looks a certain way that I think is appealing to fans. And if he can keep on winning fights like this, I think he could be a big deal. So I hope I see more of him here in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. No doubt about that. Next up, from Fight Night in Edmonton, was Nick Felber taking on James Dalzell, I believe is how you say it. This was over before it began. This is somewhat theme of the night, guys. Dalzell came out hard and fast, but his attempt to overwhelm Felber failed miserably as he was knocked down quickly after he got up. He was knocked out hard. And now that sounds like a quick explanation of that fight, but I can only explain what happened, and it was very fast. And again, much like the last fight, coming out hard and fast can sometimes win you a fight pretty damn quickly, and other times it can lose you a fight pretty damn quickly. Dizelle came out hard, but his attempt, he attempted to overwhelm Felber. He did. That's not insulting him. That's a terrific strategy. If you can overwhelm your opponent, you often get the knockout. We saw the last time Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship was on, and I covered that event in Sturgis. We saw a gentleman get knocked down and pounded over and over until the ref stopped it. You always take a chance of being able to do that. Now, quick news, I did post this on my social media. If you're not following me on Facebook, and you're not following me on Twitter, and you're not following me on TikTok, what the hell? Knuckle TF up, all three of those places. And of course, YouTube. If you subscribe to my YouTube, it would not only help me, even more greatly so, it would help these fighters and these companies. Because once it's in the algorithm of YouTube, it gets seen by more people. It's not about making myself famous. I don't care about that. At 55, I'm past the point of thinking I'm going to be a celebrity in anything, and that's fine. But help me do it for these guys and for these companies. But anyhow, when you come out like that, it's exciting, it's fun. You get on the edge of your seat like, oh, look at this guy. And instead, he gets knocked down. Okay? Of course, I'm talking about Dizelle. He gets up, to his credit, he gets up. I'm not sure he should have, but he did. He wants to keep fighting, and he gets knocked out pretty much immediately. Felber, your big winner here. Nick Felber, very quickly in the first round. Awesome knockout. Want to see more of that guy as well. I'd like to see more. Some of these guys that get knocked out quick doesn't mean they're bad fighters. They just, it's the luck of the draw sometimes. Of course, it's tons of skill, of course, by the fighter who wins. But if your strategy is, I'm just going to go hard and heavy, and you get counter-punched with bare knuckles, the body or the face, if you can't see because you got pounded in the eye, or you can't breathe because you got hit in the solar plexus or the liver, it doesn't matter how tough you are, how much training you've had, you're not continuing. Just as simple as that. So that is the danger of coming out that way. Now, as word is known about that, not that it isn't known, but as fighters talk and as trainers talk and train their fighters, they might start suggesting they go a little slower, which can lead to fan restlessness and wanting it to be spicy or wanting it to be faster. So you're sort of caught between a rock and a hard place. Are you going to go in there and put on a show and take the chance of being knocked out, or maybe knocking someone out? Or are you going to be a little reserved and sort of take your time? Only 2-minute rounds as well, folks. 5 2-minute rounds. You've got 10 minutes to win your fight. There ain't no time to mess around, honestly. There ain't no time. Next up on this card was Caden Scott taking on Justin Kennedy. It started strong with Kennedy landing hard shots on Scott, making look like it was over. It looked like Kennedy had this one. Another example, not quite as hard as the last fight. He didn't come out quite like a bull of the woods, if you will. But he came out steady. He came out strong. He came out throwing his punches, getting his shots in for sure. So much so that it looked like, damn, Kennedy's going to win this. If not by knockout, he's got total control of this. But Scott ate these things, to his credit. Caden Scott was tough as hell and kept going and rallied and landed a hard shot to Kennedy's eye, dropping him to a knee. Didn't knock him out, but that's a knockdown. You drop down to a knee, you take a knee, that's a knockdown. And we thought, at least I did, watching this, Kennedy was going to get up and keep going. But what did I just say a moment ago in the last fight? If you get punched in the eye and you can't see out of the damn thing, which is what happened here, it's over. Ref had to call it. Ref had to stop it. Another first round knockout TKO stoppage because Kennedy could not see out of that eye, giving Caden Scott the win. Caden Scott went on talking about being a boxer, and sometimes that bothers bare knuckle guys, okay? So the commentators, the interviewers, what have you. This isn't boxing. This is bare knuckle fighting, okay? And there's a huge difference. Boxing skills absolutely help. No doubt about that. But he went on about being a boxer, did Caden Scott, and how he feels he can move straight up the roster because if you're an excellent boxer, that's better than a brawler, that's better than a regular fighter, if you will, and he feels his boxing skills can take him to the top. So let's put that to a test. Put him in there against one of the best fighters, brawlers that you got. And nothing against you, Caden Scott. Great win. I want to see more of you for sure. But be careful what you say because you never know who's going to get handed to you next. You never know. Next up, we had the ladies. Some of the ladies here in the Edmonton card. It was Alexander Delgado Lopez And Alexandra, if you see my commentary online, a lot of times I'm just calling you Lopez because I'm typing this as I'm watching the fight, which can be difficult. I want to pay close and strict attention to the fight, but I'm also trying to take some notes. So I simply don't have time to write Delgado-Lopez as I'm typing. Just throwing that out there. But Alexander Delgado Lopez versus Emma Murray. Excellent. This was our first 5-round fight. And I know some people, some of you weaklings, some of you, short attention span people cringe at that. It's 10 minutes, guys. It's 5 2-minute rounds. Give me a break. You can't watch a fight for 10 minutes. I don't know if you should be watching fighting. Anyhow, excellent fight. I'm going to try to describe something that's hard to describe. Delgado Lopez pretty much controlled this whole fight. She did not dominate because Emma Murray got plenty of shots in. But there's a couple things we saw here. Emma Murray is a tough, should I say daughter of a bitch? She's a tough son of a bitch. She just took stuff and kept on coming, delivering her own. Of course. She delivered shots as well, and Delgado Lopez is pretty damn tough too. It's just that she got a little more off, a little more accurate, and a little more strikes that landed than Emma Murray did, okay? Lopez was just nonstop. She just kept, no, literally. That sounds like, an hyperbole or something I'm just saying to make it sound exciting. No, guys, you watch this fight and watch Delgado Lopez. She literally never stops moving toward Emma Murray. Never. Boom, 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 face, body, body. Just these combinations that kept control. Now, being that Emma Murray stayed up through all this, again, proving her incredible toughness, she had a chance to knock Lopez out, Delgado Lopez. The whole entire fight just didn't get it done. That's not an insult, just didn't. It ultimately came down to who had more gas. Both of them held it together pretty well with their gas tanks, but I think Delgado Lopez had a little bit more because, again, all 5 rounds, this woman just kept moving forward. I mean, it's just crazy. The only way Murray could win this by the time he got to round 4 was a knockout. Murray's a very good fighter, but has simply been backed up and knocked down too many times. Murray said before this fight, I have to avoid being backed into the ropes. Folks, she was backed into the ropes the entire fight, and she knows that. Delgado fought well, but spent way too much time up against the ropes. Or not Delgado, Murray spent way too much time up against the ropes, and Delgado Lopez wins with an easy, unanimous decision in a terrific fight. I know that sounds odd. Delgado Lopez won easily, unanimously, but it was still a good fight. You know what I mean? Murray just kept the fight coming, but never took control of it for 1 round. But she kept coming, and she kept trying, and this was one of the best fights of the night, for sure. Okay, next up, what fight are we on here? 5th fight of the night. Kamani Crawford took on Matt Sholotuk. Guys, Socholotuk. I've heard his name. I should have listened to it before I started to record this. Forgive me, Matt. Sholotuk. I'm just going to call him Matt until I learn to say his name. Forgive me, brother. So it was Matt taking on Kamani Crawford. Okay, so Crawford, Kamani versus Matt. And how neither one of these guys went down in this fight, especially round 1, is beyond me. You know how I said Emma Murray in the last fight had a ridiculous jaw? Both of these guys did. These guys hit each other with bombs, with jabs, with overhands, with uppercuts, with combinations. Both guys. Now, again, much like the last fight, Kamani held the advantage over Matt most fight long just because he landed a little more strikes and he was a little more accurate. Matt was terrific here. I mean, he pummeled Kamani as the way he's covered in tattoos. He covered Kamani with strikes. He did great here. But in the end, Kamani Crawford won unanimously. And again, this was fight of the night. Officially the fight of the night. And this and the 2 ladies are darn close to who I'd give fight of the night. I think I would give it to the men simply because it overall was a better, more close, more back and forth fight. Yeah. Kamani Crawford won by unanimous decision, Adam. Okay. And I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. But Matt Sholotuk, again, forgive me, was incredible as well. He ate everything, kept going forward, swung and swung and swung. Crawford just couldn't be hurt. Matt was effective. He was striking hard and landing significantly. Crawford literally shrugged everything off. And as Matt walked back to his corner between rounds, Crawford standing there looking at him like, the guy didn't have a cut in his face. Kamani Crawford, not a single cut. And he was hit in the face numerous times. What's that about? What's the secret there? I don't know. Is he from Krypton? This guy didn't have a mark on him. I think that's part of the reason he won. No, not because he didn't have a mark on him, but because he showed no pain. He showed like Matt's strikes didn't hurt him. They landed significantly and hard, and he just went, okay. It was wild. And he won by unanimous decision, did Kamani Crawford. Get him in there. Nothing against Matt. My God, nothing against Matt, who has proven time and again to be a great bare-knuckle fighter. But get this Crawford dude in there against someone who we know is a ridiculous powerhouse. Because I want to see if he can keep eating this stuff the way he does. I mean, hopefully, I don't want the guy to be brain damaged later in life. But I'm just saying, can this guy absorb this much punishment all the time? If so, he's going to be a must-see fighter. He just walks straight through anything you give him, and then either knocks your ass out or wins by decision. What a fight. If I was going to show somebody bare knuckle fighting and could pick 3 fights that I could show them to try to win them over to the sport, this would be one of them. And I'm not kidding. Must see fight. Next up, the 6th fight was Caden Garreau taking on Joseph Creer. Now, it's I think it's just Creer. What's the big deal? I'm just saying, it's not career, it's Creer. Creer was very good at capturing the back of Garreau's neck. You know what I mean? I think it's called a half plumb, where they grab him by the back of the neck and just give uppercuts. Holy hell. I mean, imagine that, having your head. They're not really technically supposed to pull their head down, but they can hold it still, right? They can try to sort of keep them from moving backwards and pummel them. That's dirty boxing, baby. I mean, this is a different company in my hat, Dirty Boxing Championship. Check that out. It's one of the glove promotions I like. I digress. I think that's what won him the fight. But Greer just... his game plan also came through over Garreau. Garreau's game plan, since he's shorter, has a little bit of a smaller reach, was to get inside, right? If you're shorter and have a smaller reach, you have to get inside and deliver punches and bunches to your opponent and get the hell out, right? Where Greer's job, his plan, is to stay back and hit from a distance, go in a little bit, and you're able to go back a little bit because you're the taller, longer reach man. Well, the stay back and pick off plan worked for Creer, and the get in and hit punches and bunches and get out did not work for Garreau. Now, am I saying Garreau did not get a bunch of punches? No, he did. Not enough. Creer, his game plan worked. The half plumb worked. Everything just worked. I mean, it was a sweet scientific bout. And I know that probably turns some non-purists off, right? You're going to say, I'll watch bare knuckle boxing if I want to see the sweet science of fighting, right? Well, this was terrific. Greer, there was plenty of punches. Greer closed Garreau's eye. It closed his right eye. And that's how it ended at the end of the 4th round. We thought we'd see another 5-rounder here, but no. The doctor determined that Garreau could not see, or at least not see well enough. He did check him earlier, and he checked how many fingers. He said 1. How many fingers? He said 3 or 4 or something. He got the right. He guessed right, or he could see. But at the end of this fight, Garreau could not see, and they're never going to let a fighter fight if they can't see perfectly. His eye was shut. His eye was closed. It was over. Winner by TKO doctor stoppage was Joseph Creer. And a beautiful, well-fought match. Not good enough for me to call it fight of the night, but up there. Very, very good. So many of these were good. Even the first-round knockouts and stuff. Very entertaining and fun show here. Okay, next up, 7th fight was the heavyweights. The big boys, if you will. Brady Meister took on Bodan Katok. And remember when I said I could tell when somebody has an it factor? Well, Katok, Bohan, has it. He has it. He's a foreign guy, spoke pretty good English, but he just went out there throwing bombs. He looks like a beast. Sort of reminds me of Adam from earlier in the show, not just because he has the same name as me, but seriously, sort of in a similar way. Powerful guy who go in there and just threw bombs and knocked Meister down 4 damn times. Just kaboom, down, kaboom, down, kaboom, just over and over. Now, they weren't, he's asleep. They weren't like I'm knocking him across the ring, but it's just like, oh, I got hit and dazed, and what the hell just happened here? This guy was a beast. He was a monster. It was pretty much one-sided the entire 1 minute and 50 seconds of this fight that saw Bodan Katok destroyed. Sorry, Brady. Sorry, brother. But he did. He destroyed Brady Meister in a quick knockout victory just before the first round ended. But the whole first round was all Katok. The whole first round. Next up, very good fight, but a little bit of some controversy here. Let's talk about it. We're talking about the 8th fight of the night. Hassan Al-Ghanim. Hassan Al-Ghanim took on Zach Pennell. Now, I want to like Zach. I do like Zach. Good guy. Cool guy. From Lancaster, Pennsylvania, right down the road here from where I live in good old Chocolate Town, USA, Hershey, Pennsylvania. You can hear roller coasters from my front porch. Right down the road from Lancaster, not far at all, 30 minutes or so, maybe not even that far, 25. But this didn't last long either. 22 seconds. Here's where the controversy comes in. It was a quick left jab that downed Pennell. Just boom, down he went. Dropped. Just a jab? I mean, now people's jabs, talk about Mike Tyson, they can be ungodly powerful. And I'm not comparing, Hassan Al-Ghanim to Mike Tyson. But his opponent, Zach Pennell, went down with one left jab at the 22-second mark. Now, you can, in the film, I don't know if you'll see it in these pictures that I slide by here, but Pennell's knee did buckle. And he's saying his knee went out. The jab did rattle him, but it also, the way he moved, his knee buckled on him and he couldn't continue the fight. He told the ref he couldn't continue. That was it. He wasn't knocked stone cold out. No way. But I don't think that Ghanim appreciated that. He goes, I don't want to hear anything about his knee. He went down. He felt my power. It's up to you. Watch the fight. See what you think. His knee definitely buckled. But I think his knee buckled because of the shot. I think he was hit so hard that as he went to fall or back up or what have you, react to that shot, his knee buckled. So I think it was both. But I think ultimately it was the power of that shot that buckled his knee and took him down. And I want the local boy, Zach Pennell, to do great. And he is a good fighter. And I was rooting for him here. But that said, this Iranian guy, Hassan Al-Ghanim, he has an it factor. No freaking doubt about it. Okay, here we go. We are on to the 9th fight. And this is our co-main event of the evening. Tim Tamaki taking on Chad Lucanis. Well, wasn't much of a co-main event. Most people expected this to go much longer than this did. I mean, look, Tamaki is a very experienced MMA fighter. If I remember correctly, he has 50 MMA fights. Very experienced. Now, Lucanis is known as a power puncher. He's known as a guy who comes forward, who gets in and gets shit done. He absolutely is. But most people believe Tamaki would be able to keep him at bay, to counter him, for this to be a solid several round fight, maybe all 5. No, wasn't to be. It was over very quickly. Lucanis' pace was too much. Tamaki didn't know how to handle a guy coming forward this strongly. I mean, maybe he does from all his experience, but he didn't do it here. He was completely overwhelmed with body shots. I mean, Lucanis said so after the fight. He goes, look, I know headshots are popular. I know headhunting is what people love. But I believe if you take out the body, the head will follow. And that's exactly what happened here. After knocking Tamaki down 4 times in the first round, it was over. And Lucanis won by TKO at 1 minute and 59 seconds, just a second away from escaping the first round. Wasn't to be, wasn't to happen. The experienced Lucanis, or the less experienced Lucanis, still very experienced, took out the much more experienced Tim Tamaki in the first round. Overwhelmed him completely. I don't think Tamaki did anything. Very little. And I know he's good, and I know he's experienced. And I hate saying this because I'm becoming friends with all these guys on social media, and I don't want to put anybody down. But, guys, I got to talk about how I saw the fight. Even if I love you, even if you're a brother or a whatever, a blood relative, I got to talk about how I saw it. And taking nothing away from the experienced and well-known Tamaki, he was overwhelmed here and beaten down the whole first round and knocked down 4 times on his way to his loss. Big win. Big win for Chad Lucanis. And finally, and I always say finally, even though I'm sort of disappointed, we're up to the main event. I don't want these shows to end. I love it. I need more, baby. Give it to me. But this was the main event, 10th fight of the night. It was Drew Stuve against Will Santiago. And honestly, I don't know what the hell this was. Stuve dominated for sure. Stuve got in there. He's a hell of a fighter. He's on his way to the top. I believe that with all of my heart. But there was something weird here. Santiago, God bless you, my friend. I know you're a good fighter. I know that's why you're in the main event. But something in this fight looked like Santiago wasn't interested in fighting. Now, either that, and I could be horribly mistaken and sound like a buffoon here. No doubt about it. It could be all me. But it looked like Stuve's best blows to Santiago were grazes. They weren't full contact shots. Even the commentary team went on replay. Were like, oh, that didn't look like it got the full force there, but it must have been harder than it looks. Exactly. It must have been a hell of a lot harder than it looks. Now, that's taking nothing away from Stuve, who I know can punch like a monster. I know that. He can destroy people like Godzilla destroying Tokyo. I know that. But the punches that landed on Santiago in this fight did not look like half force. They didn't look maybe quarter force. I don't know. They sorted like a quarter of the not the boxing glove. I'm looking at my hat. A quarter of the fist grazed like his shoulder and neck area. The knockout blow. But this was over very, very quickly. And now Santiago, to his credit, took this fight on very short notice. He had no damn training camp. There's no way he had any type of camp. He just said, I'm going to use my experience and go in there and fight a guy who has had a full camp. I understand that. There's no way Santiago was expected to win this. Everyone believed and knew that he could win it, but they didn't expect him to. And he didn't. But I don't know. I don't want to call it fishy. I'm not calling it rigged. No way am I calling it that. But man, if Stuve quarter punches hurt this badly, he's going to take over the bare knuckle world. No doubt about it. But guys, this was a great show. I absolutely love this show. Wait till you hear this rating. 9.5 out of 10. That's right. One of the highest ones I've rated in a while. No title shots, a fight night, not the full, big party time event that Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship has. Still good, but it's considered a smaller event, these fight nights. They don't even get a number, right? Well, my number is 9.5 because I loved everything about this except how the main event ended. Even if it was legit, I just didn't like how it looked. It was very strange. I hope someone can answer some questions. Stuve must be the most powerful fighter in the world. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'm only taking a half point off for that. 9.5 out of 10. 2 matches I would call fight of the night. 1 match I would call a close runner-up for fight of the night. And all the rest of them, even the first rounders, were excellent. The main event was solid for as quick as it was. Just how the hell does somebody get knocked out with those punches? That's it. But I'm Adam Lavelle, KnuckleTFUp.com. I'll be back to review more shows and talk about all the blows in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and several of the other companies that I love so much. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe to the YouTube. See you real soon.